Have you ever been uncertain and possibly confused about exactly what does a CEO do? Or maybe, am I a CEO? Are you a CEO? Well, today, let me see if I can help you clear that up. Matterhorn. And the discussion is, what is it that I do once I have myself replaced? So for most every client we have, the ideal situation and what we call the summit here at Matterhorn is their goal, their ultimate. And every single client we have wants the same thing, which is to be able to work on the business instead of in the business. That means vision, future planning, creativity, new relationships, versus being down in the body of the machine, in the body and the mechanics and the day-to-day of painting the houses or putting on the roofs or planting the shrubs. So the ultimate then is the CEO is going to work on the business. Now, what does that CEO do? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to go over today, and I think I'm qualified to do this because I semi-retired from my first business at the age of 38, semi-retired again from the second business at the age of 60, and I have other projects that I'm working on that I plan on semi-retiring from. So, what does a CEO do? All right, well, the first thing the CEO has to do is replace themselves, and that's a topic for another day. But let's start with, what does a CEO end up with? How do you know if you have a good CEO or a bad CEO? Now, let's not talk about Wall Street and stocks and bonds and, how you value a Fortune 500 company. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a small business owner. The way you're going to be judged in my book as a good CEO, a good business owner, a good entrepreneur, do you have profit? Number one. Not how much gross revenue, not how much money you made last year. You made $500,000, you made $1 million. We made $5 million last year. I'm a great CEO. No, let me tell you, if you made $5 million last year and spent $6, you're a terrible CEO. If you made $1 million last year and kept $500,000, I'd say you're a great CEO. So what is the objective here in business? It's to make a profit. Now, yes, you have the basic purpose of the company, which is to serve the customer, solve their problem. Okay, that's all in my book, Fun at Work. We're not talking about that. All right, we're talking about at the end of the day, a CEO needs to have profit to run the company and expand the company. So the very first result of you as a CEO is, how do you make more profit? End up with more money in the checkbook. Okay, now to make that profit, the CEO is responsible for strategy and action. So in my book, Fun at Work, I talk about strategic plans and action plans, and there are 4 areas you need to focus on. Marketing, to get more new customers. Sales, selling those prospects. Delivery, what was sold. And management, which is holding this machine together and making it run. All right? So what you do as a CEO is you create strategy for future expansion in what I call the 4 pillars of business basics: marketing, sales, delivery, and management. Very simple. Then you work with your managers or yourself if you don't have any managers, and you figure out now the action steps. So you have this strategy to expand, and now you have step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You lay it out on a calendar. By this date, this needs to be done. That's what the CEO does. Now, here would be the ideal. How you can start working on the business instead of in the business is you now have a director of marketing, a director of sales, a director of delivery, and an administrative director. That would be the ideal. And then you're sitting up here as the chief executive officer, meaning over all the other executives, telling them what to do and running them on their strategies and their action plans. So that's what the CEO does, is create strategy and action plans and replaces themselves in marketing, sales, delivery, and management. Now, the third thing, and this could actually be the number one thing, which is going to give you everything else, is communication. You're not in an ivory tower as the CEO creating these secret plans all by yourself. As a matter of fact, what we found here at Matterhorn is somebody, usually the small business entrepreneur, is by themselves. They need somebody to talk to. So if you go over that way, you're going over the cliff. I suggest you go over here. You're free to go over the cliff, but I suggest you go over here. We have to take these ideas, these strategies and action plans, and communicate them to the managers and to the other team members. So there must be communication. As an executive, you're responsible for communication. I have this fellow that I know, we're friendly. I can't say that he's my friend. In 7 years, he took his company from 0 and 10 employees to just going on Wall Street with a $3 billion valuation and about 1,500 employees. 7 years. Every single day, he's on their computer screen from 9 until 9:15. Every single day. He's not some aloof person, who, lets the company. Okay, you have to let everybody know, your managers and your other team members know exactly what the strategy is, the action plan, and what they're responsible for. Now, another critical thing, and this oftentimes is dropped by our small business owners, is you have to meet with an accountant. You have to make sure your taxes are filed on time. You have to have a profit and loss statement. You have to meet with your accountant. Maybe there's a legal document that you need to draft. You have to make sure your retail merchant's license is in place and current. So you're responsible for all the technicalities to make this business function so you can file your taxes, comply with any local licensing or state regulations. That's part of your job. That's not the manager's job, and it's not the other team member's job. That's your job as the CEO. And then, as far as I'm concerned, the fifth thing that the CEO has to do is be very active in promoting the company. I'm talking about going to networking meetings, making videos, getting your picture out there, however it might be, your face at the Chamber of Commerce meetings. It's your company. We have one small business owner that we were working with who refused to do that. Oh, I'm not really that type of a person. I really don't want to do seminars. Honestly, it just really didn't go anywhere. You have to be passionate about your product or service, and you have to be the one that's going to promote it. Now you say, well, I'm not that kind of person. Okay, then hire somebody to be that person. That's the bottom line is, if you're not going to do it yourself, it's still your responsibility for your public relations and your image and just really making your company better well known and well thought of. You are the chief executive officer. That's what you do. If you want to become a true CEO or a better CEO of your business, you should check out our Adventure to Profit program. You will be able to work with us one-on-one. We are certified profit first professionals. We really dive into that. We dive into strategy, the 4 pillars of business basics, and you can work with us personally on that program. So go to adventuretoprofit.com, fill out a short application, and let's see if we have a match. I hope to be working with you soon.